As you were at the top of the table over in League One, as Portsmouth and Ipswich Town lead the bloody charge. Breathing down the necks is still the Green Army, but will they still be there after this weekend's action? We're going to take a little look next Q&A, but there is none. So let's get into it. Of course, looking forward to the weekend's action. Match Day 11 over in League One, and we'll get to that. The interesting thing, you know where you've been. Smash your subscribe and back to all things League One related, Baby Rose related, Cup related later this year. We are doing something bizarro world today. We are doing a Zoom into my computer in America, calling from here in Germania. Of course, looking forward to this weekend's action in League One. Some games are postponed, but the majority go ahead. We'll take a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, people shout the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. So let's get into it, of course, and let's get cracking. So this is a very, very difficult kind of setup here. I'm not even ready, but we're going to get into it in a heartbeat. So bear with me as I try to get this sucker going. So how's everyone's day been? Of course, international break for the most of us. But of course, not in League One, boys and girls, not in League One. So here are those games. Of course, hang on a bloody minute. It's so difficult. I've got one monitor and I'm trying to juggle about 10 different things here. So let's see what I got. Anyway, any minute now would be nice. Any fucking minute. There we go. So let's get in the deep end. Of course, have a look. What I'm talking about, boys and girls, we are talking about League One, and there were some games this past weekend on Saturday. So here they are coming at you. Of course, Accrington Stanley with a win at home against Cheltenham Town. Oh gosh, what's going on here? Are you playing with me? There we go. 1-0 win it was. Of course, I called it. That's absolutely called it. Meanwhile, Bolton with a big 1-0 win over Peterborough. What's gone wrong with them? Goodness gracious me. Peterborough having a shit show so far. Bolton with a big 2-1 win. Bristol Rovers 6-3 loss to Lincoln City at home. Shock Arena, 9-goal thriller there. Cambridge, of course, also got spanked at home by Barnsley, of course. Wasn't ex-coach there. Moving up to Cambridge. No, I wasn't right. It was Cheltenham, of course. Derby, of course, 2-1 win over Wycombe, of course. But besides that, the breaking news is Liam Messina is no more. Of course, they're looking at Mark Warren. They're looking at some other guys. Of course, goodness gracious me, what a shake-up is going on there. I thought he's done an okay start considering he was there steadying the ship. I guess they just want to be closer to the top already. Exeter City could only muster a draw. No, they lost to Burton, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me. Fleetwood draw against Charlton after they called it. That's called it. The Vegans lost at home to Morecambe. Good win for them. Meanwhile, of course, MK Dons with a big 2-1 win over Oxford United. I went the other way. Port Vale with a big 2-1 win over Shrewsbury. 1-0 win was Michael. Pompey 2, the Green Army 2, and Sheffield Wednesday 2, and Ipswich Town 2. What a thrilling weekend, of course, as you were. Like I said, you can't separate those four teams at the bottom there. As you can see by the table, it looks like that. Those four teams, as you were, of course, all picking up just the 1 point, making Bolton the biggest gainers there with Barnsley and now Derby in the mix. Of course, down the foot is Burton, Morecambe, and of course, Forest Green Rovers with Bristol Rovers now in a bit of trouble. And I think I did hear some shouts for maybe Barton out this weekend over at Bristol Rovers. So that's the state of play there. If you want to take a look at the prediction, here it comes now. Shepherd, well done for you, of course. Kicking off stadium, 6 pickup routes for you. Pennywise up there with Vinny Hong and George Mitz. Cool name, of course, he's up there. Meanwhile, into the overall leaderboard, it is Shane O'Donnell and the Shepherd Meister with Jimmy Watton, of course, up there. A-OK. Well done to all you three guys. But of course, it's early days, still early days. We're in the middle of September, of course. So if you want to get involved, cut4/League One is the route, is the link, free to enter, get in amongst it. And of course, you can get involved with these right here, right now. So we're going to jump in the deep end, of course, and have a look at these games. So hopefully you're with me. Hopefully you're ready and excited, because I am. So here we go. What one's the first one? The first one is Derby County against Shelton. Of course, let's get into the deep end of this one over at Private. It's not going ahead. It's not going ahead. Am I going to scramble through these? I'm probably not. I'm just going to give them to you because I am live and I am on precious time here. So if the game was to go ahead, I probably would have. I've already put the pick in. You can do the same as well with the form, but I'm not going to read off the data. But I would have went with a Derby win, 2-1 win for them as to kick off the weekend. Lincoln City, and I think it's the same. I think it's the top 4 of the show here. Are all postponed for one way or another. But if it was to have gone ahead, I think it would have been a tight one. A bit of a tight. I've got no data, so I'm going to go with my gut here. My gut says maybe a draw here, perhaps. No, 2-0 win. I would have went with a 2-0 win. I did make these legitimately. I did go for these. But again, there was some logic behind the madness as well. Oxford expected, or they were scheduled to take place up against, of course, Fleetwood Town. And again, I probably would have backed Oxford. I like Oxford. And I think they're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So I would have gone with a win for them, 2-1 win for them over Fleetwood if it was to take place. Meanwhile, what a game it would have been. It would have been Portsmouth up against Bolton Wanderers. Both teams doing A-OK this season, and I probably would have backed Pompey on this one with the recent form of goals galore. We went with a 5-goal through a 3-2 in the end, but we're not doing it because those games are postponed. But we are going to take a look at the Vegans. They're going to take on Exeter City, a game that was last season in League Two, so they are locking horns once again over in League One now. Played each other 25 times since 2002. We've got 2 wins for Forest Green, 11 wins at Exeter, and we've got 12 draws as well. Meanwhile, 58% form for Forest Green right now, just 1 defeat of the last 4, looking good at the moment. Meanwhile, Exeter, of course, just 1 win of the last 6, 25% form for them moving forward as well. Last round, though, over in League Two, it was a 0-0 draw back at Forest Green. That's back in January 2022. In fact, the last 4 of these two, the matches between the two sides, both home and away, have all ended up all square. Meanwhile, of course, Exeter with the 2-0 loss against Burton. In fact, back-to-back losses for them, the Vegans, with the big 2-1 win over Newport County. That was in the Football League Trophy. The odds for this, though, we've got 9-4 as your host, 9-4 as your draw, 65 as your away win here. I'm backing, of course, back in the Vegans. No, gone with the draw, 1-1 in the end. Point split right down the middle. What do you think about that? Bristol Rovers up against Accrington and Stanley, of course, coming at you. And of course, Barton's boys need a result and fast. Played each other 15 times, 2006, 3 wins for Bristol Rovers, 9 wins for Accrington Stanley, and we've got 3 draws as well. Rovers, of course, without a win in the last 7 games, 70% form for them. He's on borrowed time, isn't he? Of course, Accrington Stanley, those just 2 wins of the last 6, 30% form. But of course, they're expected to be around mid-table. And of course, John Coleman's got a license to roam, do whatever he likes, because he's done a fantastic job being here as well. However, the last time they played was back in March 2021 as a 4-1 win for Bristol Rovers, and of course the away side has only won once in the last 6, at least between these two sides. That's when Stanley beat Bristol Rovers back in August 2018 in League One. Actually did lose to Salford 4-2 in the cup, and of course Bristol Rovers still nursing that 9-goal loss, a 9-goal thriller against Lincoln. So the odds here, right here, and that's 7-4 is your Bristol Rovers, 23-10 is your women, 6-4 is your draw here, boys and girls. So make sure you get your picks in on this. What did I give you? 6-4 is the away shot here. I've gone with Bristol Rovers, surely. 2-1 win in the end. 3 points in the bag. Move the chains. Away they go. Pressure off. A little bit for Barton's boys. Barnsley against Charlton, of course, coming at Oakwell. Now, these two sides played each other 22 times since 1993, 7 wins apiece and 8 draws. Of course, Barnsley, though, just 1 defeat past 6. They look good right now, don't they, with Duffy in charge? Just 1 defeat of the past 6 games, 67% form for them right now. Up against a Charlton side, also 1 defeat of the past 6, 58% form for Garner's boys. Last time played over at Oakwell was a 2-2 draw back in August 2019. That was in the Championship. Meanwhile, of course, Charlton with a draw against Fleetwood. Of course, Barnsley with the 2-0 win over Newcastle United under 23s in the Football League Trophy. The odds right here, right now, what we're going to go on. We've got 7-4 is your host, 23-10 is your draw, 64 is your away win here. I am backing. What am I backing on this one, boys? I'm backing, I think, Barnsley, surely. 2-0 win, yep. 3 points in the bag, up the ladder they go. Barnsley are in it. They're in this now. They're in the mix, and they've got chance here to really go for broke. Not just playoffs, but maybe even automatics. Morecambe up against Cambridge. Morecambe with a big win against the Vegans last weekend. Played the 20 times, these two sides, 2005. 6 wins for Morecambe, 9 wins for Cambridge. I've got 5 draws. Just 1 defeat in the past 5 for Morecambe right now. Derek Adams' boys has not working a treat. 58% form for them right now. Up against Cambridge, who've won 3, lost 3 over the last 6. That's 50% form for them moving forward. Last round over in Morecambe was a 2-0 win for Cambridge back in November 2021. That was in League One. Cambridge picking up 4 wins on the spin against Morecambe. Unbeaten in the last 6 against them, though. Morecambe with a big 4-2 win over Hartlepool, back-to-back wins for them up against a Cambridge side who did beat Northampton Town in the Football League Trophy just yesterday. Coming at you, though, the odds 2-1 is your Morecambe, 13-10 is your draw, 23-10 is your away win, guys. What are we thinking about that? I am backing draw. Yeah, draw right here. 1-1 in the end. A point split. Can't separate the two sides. Peterborough, sack him. That's what I'm saying. McCann is doing trash right now. They're down to 10th. Up against Port Vale side, who are up to 13th. Played 13 times, 2003. We've got 5 wins for Peterborough, 5 wins for Port Vale, and 3 draws. Peterborough, just 1 win is 6, 70% form for them right now. Up against Port Vale, unbeaten in the last 5 now. Pick up 3 wins and a couple of draws. Last round, though, over at Peterborough was a 2-2 draw back in September 2016. That was in League One. What are we looking at? Port Vale with a big 4-0 win over Shrewsbury in the Football League Trophy. Scored 6 goals in the last 2 games combined. Posh beating Spurs reserves 3-0 in the Tottenham, whatever it calls the Football League Trophy bullshit. That's, of course, yesterday as well. The odds right here, right now, 2017 on is your people. They're red hot favourites, 13-5 is your 3-1 is your away win, which is Port Vale. Peterborough deserve to. Well, they need a win. They need a win. It's at home. I think I'm backing them, aren't I? Yeah, 2-0 win for Peterborough. They've got to win this game. Otherwise, he's got to go for the sack, surely. Sheffield Wednesday up against Wycombe. Wanderers, of course, because it's getting tight in that League One. Of course, Wednesday up against Wycombe. Played 8 times to 3, 4 wins to Sheffield Wednesday, 2 for Wycombe. We've got 2 draws as well. Sheffield Wednesday just 1 win in the last 5, and then 42% for a bit of a wobble, perhaps. Up against the Wycombe side, 1-2 lost to it and drawn to it over the last 6, 50% form for them. However, just 1 win in 4. Meanwhile, coming at you the last night at Wednesday at Hillsborough was a 2-2 draw back in November 2021. That was in League One. The away side hasn't won in the last 5 games between the two sides, and the last time the away side won was when Wednesday played Wycombe back in October 2011, back in League One. Stevenage pick up a 3-0 win over Wycombe in the Football League Trophy Wednesday with a 3-2 loss against Burton, of course, in the Football League Trophy as well. The odds for this, we have 5-3 on is your Sheffield Wednesday, 14-5 is your 9-2 is your away win here. What do you think about that, guys? I am going to go with, what am I going to go with on this one? I'm going to go with Sheffield Wednesday, surely. 3-1 win, goals in this one, 4 in it. But a lot of drama to boot. Meanwhile, what we've got going on here, we've got, I've lost the plot. We're going back here. It is Shrewsbury, is that right? Shrewsbury up against Burton, Albion, of course, at Gay Meadow, I think. Night 20, what are we looking at? We're going to go there. They've played each other 21 times in 2003, 10 wins for Shrewsbury, 5 for Burton, 6 draws, of course. Shrewsbury picking up a couple of wins at the last 6, 42% form for them right now. Burton, under the Tunisian, 1-3 out of the last 6, 50% form for them right now. Coming at you, though, last round at Shrewsbury was 1 win for Burton back in August 2021. The home side hasn't won this game since Burton beat Shrewsbury back in December 2018. Meanwhile, Burton with a 3-2 win over Sheffield Wednesday, back-to-back wins for them, back to 5 goals scored by Burton, as they were a barren run, weren't they, without any goals for a while. Port Vale, though, did beat Shrewsbury last time, 4-0 in the Football League Trophy as well. The odds here, we've got 20-19 on is your shoe, Red Hot Votes, 23-10 is your draw, 3-1 is your away win here. So what are we thinking about that? I'm backing, of course, got to back Shrewsbury to get something here. 1-0 win for them, take 3 points, and of course, but Burton are on a bit of a run right now. Wins, the confidence will be bouncing, new manager-ish. Anyway, but we're going to wrap it up with a bit of a zing, of course, coming out on Sunday, 25th of September, is Plymouth up against Ipswich. Of course, Ipswich in first, Plymouth are in third. Played each other 16 times, 2004, 3 wins for the Green Army, 8 wins for Ipswich. What's his name? Ed Sheeran's voice, and 5 draws as well. Meanwhile, though, Plymouth coming at just 92% form for them, winning, I'm beating the last 6. In fact, I haven't lost the last 7, winning 5 of the last 6. Up against Ipswich Townside, we've won 4 of the last 5. Or 4 of the last 6 even. I'm beating the last 6, of course. A couple of draws in the mixer there. Last round over at Plymouth, there was a 2-1 win for Plymouth back in October 2021. Plymouth, though, with a 3-1 win over Swindon in the Football League Trophy. Ipswich was a 2-1 win over Arsenal's youth in the same competition. South as well. The odds here, 11-5 is your Plymouth, 9-4 is your 5-4 is your way win here. What are we thinking about that, guys? Well, it's the last one, though. This is the last game of the weekend, and I am backing. I think I've got to back Ipswich Town to now. I've got to back Plymouth here. So tight, 2-2 right down the middle, point split. What do you think about that? That is my take on it, guys. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. Portsmouth will remain top of the pops. Ipswich, again, I have gone with when I've made this table here. It's also got those 4 games at the top there, which are not going to happen. So realistically, it will not look nothing like this. But if in a dream fairy tale world that the 4 games that are postponed, go ahead. This is what the table will look like at the end of it. And of course, if you want to get involved and get your picks in as well, go here, /League One, and get your name in lights, guys. That is that, and this is me, of course, over in Germany. Of course, I am rocking the German gear. Of course, they are playing Hungary in the Nations League to take on England next weekend, but we are international this week, and of course I fly back to the United States on Friday, and then of course got a couple of days rest there before we go out to San Diego, the wife and I, for a conference. So we are non-stop at the moment, and it is just non-stop at home right now. Got lots of stuff going on, crazy stuff, and I'm just still trucking on, still delivering the content. But until then, guys, I'm going to bounce out. Make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash a little bell. But until then, boys and girls, enjoy your night. But I'm going to bounce out, and I'll see you